Hey everybody, I am David, and today I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 6, Episode 15, Doppelganger. This was a really fantastic episode. Let's get right into it. First of all, we have Laurel right in the beginning of this episode. We have Laurel from Earth 2, coming to a news conference and telling the world that she is the real Laurel Lance, who was kidnapped by Damien Dark 2 years ago. He faked her death, and she's coming back. She finally got rescued or whatever, or escaped, and now she's letting the world know that she is the real Laurel Lance. Even though Team Arrow and new Team Arrow is very much aware that this is not Laurel Lance that they once knew. But this is a test for her because she is conflicted among finding her place among Team Arrow, or is she? Because at the end of this episode, we kind of got a little tease. But I really did like a lot of the moments with Katie Cassidy in this episode, except for the end a little bit, where I felt they were really trying to make us realize that, hey, this Laurel is taking the old Laurel's place now. She's like trying to fight her way in, but there was some of the writing towards the end where I was feeling like, are they going to go back to that old Laurel? Because she was kind of saying lines that kind of reminded me of the original Laurel. I hope not. I hope they always keep this badass attitude that she had when she was first introduced. Sometimes it seems like the writers during this redemption storyline seem to lose that along the way. But there are, most of the time throughout this episode, I was pretty satisfied. I do like Katie Cassidy as an actress, so I am looking forward to her storyline as Black Siren being redeemed. Hopefully. If you saw the tease at the end where she got the text message, it seems like they're now hinting at maybe there's more. I think maybe she's just really playing Diaz. Whatever she agreed to, she's just playing along so that she doesn't get killed. But eventually, I think she's going to let Oliver know what's up. We'll see. If not, they're going to have to find a way to redeem her on that too then. Because so far, they got me hoping for her. But then that little thing at the end, I don't want them to mess this up. Like, I want Laurel Lance back. I shouldn't say this, but I do want Felicity to one day die and Laurel and Oliver to get together. I'm a purist. I like things the way they are in the comics. Not everything has to be exactly the way they are, but there should be some details that the shows should follow that the comics do. You know, you wouldn't have Superman dating another character, would you? Can you imagine if Smallville ended with Clark Kent ending up with Lana Lang? That would piss off fans. The fact that they made it Lois by the end is what made Smallville perfect. And Laurel or Black Canary and Green Arrow in the comics, they're like Superman and Lois Lane. So it's like, why would you, just because Green Arrow is a lesser known character doesn't mean you should change it up that much. There are times I'll let Arrow change itself from the comic. I don't know the Green Arrow comics too well, but I have read enough to get who the character is. And that's why I think I would like for it to end, if the series ever does end, I would like for it to end with Green Arrow finally getting together with Black Canary. That's all I'm saying. And then we had this whole Dinah storyline continuing from the last couple of weeks, ever since Vigilante was killed. She's been seeking revenge on Laurel. But she's better maintaining herself. She's letting go of the revenge angle. She's getting that more under control after last week's episode. And I'm happy with it because if she was going to go on another rampage, that was something that I was worried about, that Dinah was going to like screw you, Quentin, and push him out of the way and try to start another fight. I was getting ready to yell at my TV. Really, Dinah? We're going at this again? I thought you dealt with this last week. I was happy you dealt with it last week. Don't start it again. But thankfully, she knew to hold on, take control of herself and not let that happen. Quentin being very hopeful. I don't know about that conversation that him and Dinah had at the hospital about what he would do, because I don't know. I feel like it's an unfair conversation. I see what the writers are trying to do. I just feel like there's times where it feels like some of the characters are sounding like hypocrites a little bit. That's just me, though. I love seeing Roy back in this episode. Let's get to Roy. Colton Haynes returns as Roy. He looked a little bulkier this time. A little bit, not too much. I shouldn't talk, but yeah. It was great seeing Roy back in this episode. I was hoping to see him suit up, but he's going to be back for a couple more episodes, I believe. I don't know how many more episodes, but they're clearly setting up Thea to have an exit, I think, by the end of the season. I think this is going to be Willa Holland's last season as Speedy, as Thea Queen. Because it was clearly, there was a conversation that Oliver and Thea had where Oliver tells Thea, hey, maybe after this is all over, maybe you should actually go with Roy, wherever he goes, you know? And I felt that was basically saying goodbye to Thea, like getting us ready to prepare for her exit. Thea being back in costume was really cool. It definitely felt like old times again. We haven't seen her. We've seen her recently, I think, back in the Speedy outfit. I know in the last crossover event, she was Speedy again. So, yeah, this season, I can't remember if we've seen her already. But anyways, yeah, it was great seeing her back in suit. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Diaz. Diaz, the villain of this season. I wasn't too sure after he killed Caden James. How is he was a really good actor. The actor that's playing him is doing a fantastic job. But this episode really proved to me how psychotic he might actually be. And how dangerous he might be later in the season. I mean, he's fighting his own men just to see if they can measure up to him. I mean, we have never seen that with a villain before, where the villain tests out their men, because if you're not up to my level, you can't work with me, or close to my level, you can't work with me. I think that's actually really interesting, because that fight at the end, man, was terrific. The fight at the end of this episode with Oliver, Thea, and John kicking ass together, that was a really fantastic battle right there. And Diaz is really proving that, oh yeah, we this is the real villain of the story. I thought Caden James was really good, but then he had that little redemption. Diaz is definitely the real threat, and I don't know what he has planned. He has something. He kind of made a few hints there at the end, because he wanted them alive. Why does he want them alive? Why didn't he just want them killed? Is he trying to prove a point with all of this? Who the heck knows? Crazy shit is going down. I still think Oliver's identity is going to be revealed by the end of this season. And yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Oliver's secret, he's going to go all Iron Man. I am Oliver Queen. Just like Tony Stark at the end of the Iron Man movie, the first one. I am Tony Stark. He's going to say, I am Oliver Queen. He's going to be the one to out himself, I think. That's my theory. But I wouldn't complain about it if it turned out to be the other way. Someone else does eventually out him. But I think it's going to go the other way. because I think that would be really good for this show to have a big shakeup like that for future seasons. Like, where would you go from here? What kind of storylines would that bring to your show if you had your character opening up to the public? I think that would be fantastic. So, there was something else in this episode, wasn't there? But it's escaping my mind right now. I believe it was at the end of the episode. I can't remember now, guys. So I'm going to say, leave your comments below. If you've seen this episode, leave anything, that I might have been forgetting. I know I'm forgetting something that was really important that happened near the end of this episode. Oh, now I remember. The League of Assassins. They showed up, a League of Assassin member, a female, a woman character, and she's like, "We found the heir of Ra's al Ghul." I'm gonna guess that means Thea, because Thea is Malcolm Merlin's father, and okay, but something is bothering me a little bit, because wasn't the League of Assassins or Shadows, or it was the Assassins, weren't they disbanded? So why is this happening? I find it funny also because I was just watching Gotham earlier, before Arrow, and Ra's al Ghul was seen in that episode too, in a dream sequence. So I'm actually surprised we're getting Ra's al Ghul in two different shows right now, or the League of Assassins somewhat in two different shows. So that's interesting to me. So now, with that being said, I think I'm done here. Leave your comments below. Leave your theories. Anything you guys got. There's always something I'm missing. Comment below. And like this video, subscribe to my channel, share the video, let others know. And this Saturday, I'll be ranking all the DC TV shows that I watched, which are Arrow, The Flash, Gotham, Legends of Tomorrow, and there was one more, Black Lightning. I'm going to rank them all, what I thought of each individual episode. So until Saturday, until next time, take care.